back away from the strange red plumbing man and nobody gets hurt.
Fox McCloud has finally made his appearance in Super Mario Galaxy, and we draw him today in 4 different styles. Let's start off with the anime effect.
A good death.
Yeah, I couldn't put it any better. That is anime in a nutshell. But the reason why I chose anime specifically is because I've been doing a lot of cartoon, but I wanted to have something that still feels like it could fit, but have to redesign it slightly. So I'm not just filling in just basically a bunch of color. And chat, did you guys know that there was an actual Star Fox anime created about 10 years ago? It was Star Fox Zero: The Battle Begins, and it was basically the intro to the game itself. And let me tell you something, by the looks of this thing actually looks really good. So with my anime design, I really want to emulate a lot of what we saw in that anime intro. And if I can find it, I will drop it in the description because it's about 10 to 15 minutes long. It's actually really good. Now, before we get too far into this video, I have a big favor to ask you. If you could please do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. A lot of you actually watch my videos, but when it comes to it, not a lot of you actually subscribe to my channel. Only about 20% of you. So it would mean a lot to me if you can please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because it lets YouTube know that you like this content. When we talk about what makes anime anime, usually it's one of 2 things. One, the animation style has to come out of Japan specifically. But when it comes to the storytelling, it's a lot of adult-driven concepts, a lot of dark imagery. It's not like the fun DuckTales of Saturday morning cartoons. But the thing that makes it most distinct with its artwork is its concentration on color and line weight. Japanese artists have some of the greatest line art that I've ever seen, and their impeccable nature for consistent, smooth lines are what make anime so distinct as an art form. This is probably one of my favorite anime pieces that I have done on this channel, because it looks like Star Fox, but has all the essence of an anime drawing. But let me know, what do you think so far? I love this little green scouter effect because it made me think of Dragon Ball Z, but let me ask you something. How would you rate this on a scale from 1 to 9,000?
It's over 9,000!
Thank you, I appreciate the over 9,000. Now let's head on over to the notebook. One thing that I absolutely love about this style, and I have to give a huge shout out to Nick Miranda because he was the one who originated this style. I don't like to do a style without basically telling you guys where it originated from. This style, yeah, it's a really cool nostalgia piece. The concept that you want to do, or the concept that you want to rather create, is that feeling of scribbling in a notebook in the middle of class. At least that's what it feels like for me. You know, you're taking notes, you're really not paying attention, just having fun doodling. And that's basically what I want to do here, is just get out a simple ballpoint pen and just doodle him in a pseudo notebook. I guess what I love most about this is not only just the simplicity, but like that fun nostalgia that it always, because it's been decades since I've stepped foot into a school or a college campus, and sometimes you just miss those subtle things of just chilling out in class and doodling or passing along notes to friends and stuff like that. It just, yeah, it gives back that little bit of nostalgia that I just can't bring back, but this is always fun to do. Nostalgia aside, now let's make them pixelated. And the reason why I chose pixelated first is, well, even though he's more popular in the polygon style, when he first came out with his original game in 1993 on the SNES, he was a little bit more pixels than polygons, even though they kind of integrated the early polygon style in that first game. Let me ask you though, what was your first foray into the game? Was it Star Fox on the SNES, or was it the most popular one, Star Fox 64 on the N64? Because that's the one that I first played and then went back and played the old one, only to find out they were exactly the same. They were the same game, just ramped up with new graphics and sound effects and everything else. Another reason why I brought the pixel art back specifically for this piece as well, because a lot of people loved the pixels that I did for my Yoshi drawing, so let's just see how much people like this version, or do they like the other version better. I really like doing the pixel art this way. It requires a little bit more of an artistic hand, plus it kind of just shows the hand of the artist. You don't have to just map everything out into tiny little squares and then just color them in. You really have to think about where you're placing the colors prior to just drawing it out into those tiny squares. Now that Fox McCloud has become pixelated, let's make him realistic. Or I should say, how he is in the games and in the movie, because that's the closest representation to we have that's anything that's realistic. Now, you'll know that I've kind of broken my cardinal sin. Normally I'll say work the whole image, but I'm kind of working little chunks here in the very beginning, and that's because the suit has lots of texture. So I want to make sure that I kind of get it just right before I move on with the rest of the drawing. Now, here is my rant with the games, and it's not the problem with the games themselves, but it's with this character. Yeah, I despise Slippy. He is the most annoying piece of... Composure, gather yourself, you're a professional. So what I meant to say is that Slippy is the most annoying character because he will have no regard for his own life. 3/4 almost every single game I've ever played as Star Fox, he's leaping headlong into the enemies with like no regard for his life. And you're better off just letting him just die. Let him be the meat shield. Let him be the meat shield, because then, you know, you won't have to worry. But if you're good enough to keep protecting Slippy, at least you get really cool Falco comebacks.
What's Ligma? Slippy, no! Ligma balls!
Yeah, Slippy fell right into that one, but they all kind of fall into Falco's just really horrible jokes, but, the child that I am still laugh at them today. So now, all jokes aside, how do we get this to make it look as realistically as we can? And yes, I said realistically, and I'm going to keep it that way because, well, it just sounds funny. But what we're going to do is basically burnish the paper, which is something I don't normally do ahead of time. I usually wait to the end. And what I mean by burnishing is by pressing really hard on the paper to flatten the image out. That's because I'm going to add tons and tons of little flicked hairs in there, and the best way to make it look like these soft feathery hairs is to have that thin layer of waxy color pencil down. See, after I kind of just layered in the basic shadow effects, I'm just going to then go over with all these little tiny micro flicks of reds, browns, a little bit of black, some blues, and a touch of green here and there. And that's how we're going to get all that nice fluffy coat that he has. But now you can kind of see why I worked the other sections first. And that's because, well, when I worked through the other sections to get them just right, when I put the hair textures down at the end, I want to be able to work little fine lines of hair over the top. If I kind of work the whole image, I would have a problem trying to work these really fine details of black and brown and white hairs of the fur coat over the red and the blue. So a good way for me to do that was just to get everything done first, and then I can work over the top, and it won't blend or bleed or smudge too much. You can see here what I mean by burnishing the paper. I apply that really thick layer of white color pencil down first, so that way when I just work with all these little feather strokes, you're going to get that nice little grayish coat for underneath the mouth and along the nose. I usually struggle with fur textures, so I actually did a little bit of research, and this was something that I think helped me a lot. I kind of practiced it on the side before I went ahead and did this, so I hope it helps you all out at home. And if it does, once again, please do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. I'm close to 250k, and I'd like to get to 250k before the end of April, but only you can help me do that, because we're just about ready to call this video a wrap. Let me know, what was your favorite section? Was it the anime, the pixel, the notebook, or the realistic? Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next video.